So in today's video, I'm going to show you what I think will be the biggest selling club in 2021. So like I said there, I think this club that I'm going to show you now should be the biggest selling club in 2021. Will it be the biggest selling club in 2021? I doubt it. I think as good as custom fit is now, and the more golfers are going to get custom fitted, still think there's that little bit of ego plays a part in the purchasing of new clubs. So it'll be interesting. Stay till the end and please comment through the video on the choice of club, whether you think it's something that could go in your bag, whether you think it's something that should go in your bag, and I'm very interested to know from you guys watching how many of you have already tried this club, because I imagine not as many people as should have already tried it. But before we get into this magic club for 2021, if you're new down to my channel, welcome down to Ali Taylor Golf. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're enjoying today's video and you're not currently subscribed, I'd love you to hit the button below. Remember to ring the notification bell, then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. But for now, let's find out what should be going in your bag for this season. So it's a hybrid. No big shock there. Probably a lot of you golfers will say, Ali, I've already got a hybrid in my bag, I'm being looked after. But the hybrid that I think guys should be putting in their bag, this one happens to be the Ping G425, but isn't the Ping. But can you see that number on there? It's a 7 hybrid. And I think for a lot of golfers, this is going to be, if you put it in the bag, an absolute game changer. So I'm going to show you why it might not replace 7-iron, but why it is such a versatile club and why it might actually replace your 7-iron, but absolutely so many golfers should have one of these in their bag. So before I get in showing you why I think the 7 hybrid could be so popular going forward, I'm kind of going to explain why. So over the last few years, irons development has really come on, and I've got the G425 7-iron here. Now this at a 7-iron is 30 degrees of loft. So it really helps promote lots and lots of ball speed off the face, hit the ball further, lots of weight down in the bottom so it still launches the ball in the air. But the one negative these modern irons tend to give us is quite low backspin. So to get hitting the ball further, yes, we want more speed and they keep spin off the ball. Now the nice thing is if you've got lots of speed or a decent amount of speed like I have, I've got the simulator set the green about 140 yards away because I'm actually going to swing a little slower than I would do normally. But for this first shot, I'm just going to swing at full speed. And we can see I hit the ball nice and high. Okay, it's gone too far. It's in somebody's back garden. But when we look at the numbers there, we've seen 30-yard peak height, but only 5,500 backspin. So if you're going to stop the ball on the green, there's 2 ways you can stop a golf ball. You can stop it with height or you can stop it with backspin. The quicker you swing, the more spin you generate. So then that's at my speed. I probably don't quite generate enough spin with that, but I hit it nice and high so that the ball comes in at a steeper angle. But if I took some speed out of this to try and hit the ball at 140 yards, we can see a much, much flatter flight. That one landing on the green and scooting through the back. So then the challenge becomes only 11 yards peak height, just over 4,000 spin, and that becomes a real issue. Because for me, certainly as golf handicaps get higher, golfers miss more greens. Now that's fully understandable, but they then don't have the short game capability to get up and down often enough most of the time. So the problem is if you've got irons where even with a 7-iron, You're hitting the ball in there really flat. It's landing on the green and running through. Even with 7-iron, potentially there, even with 8-iron, you're still going to miss greens when you've actually hit a very, very good shot. So that 7-iron is at 30 degrees. I then move into the 7 hybrid, which has actually got 34 degrees. Now that's actually the same loft that my so-called weak lofted or traditionally lofted 7-iron has got. But it's not just the loft on the head. The design of the head as well is because the CG's further back in the head, it's going to promote more launch, a higher shot, and then potentially more spin. So we saw the first one I hit at my normal speed. If I were to then hit the 7 hybrid at normal speed, obviously it's going to go too far again. But you can see super, super high, almost coming down with snow on. Needed to because it's nearly in someone's car. But when we look at the height of that shot, 42 yards peak height with over 7,000 spin. So if I then go back to that green that's 140 yards away, take some speed out. So like I've said, less speed will generate less spin. So if I can then stand there, you can see instantly a higher shot, much more soft landing, and you can see that one's hardly moved forward. And we can see 23 yard peak height, carried a little bit further, which is great, but almost 6,000 spin. So it's just a completely different shot, isn't it? And when you're stood, you know, whether it's on the fairway or whether it's maybe on a little tee, on a par 3, and it might not be 140 yards for you. It could be kind of 150, 155. It could be 120 yards. Whatever that yardage is that you struggle with, this club with extra loft and the ability to launch the ball higher and spin more is really going to be a game changer. And you can see just so high, so soft, and there's just no danger unless you're playing links golf of that rolling off the green. So certainly fairways, tee shots, such a big advantage. Now obviously golf courses in England are still closed, but what you're also going to get is when the ball's in that slightly longer grass, the extra mass of the club head again is going to get through the ball and get you launching the ball higher, hitting it further with more control. But there's a little benefit to this club, and I was really tempted not to talk about it, but I am going to. So any of you golfers out there who carry a chipper, I think it's not as frowned upon as it used to. And I completely understand why, if you really have issues with your chipping, you have a club in your bag that gives you an advantage over what you would normally do. But I always think it's a shame when you've got a club in your bag like that only does one thing. And I think that's where this becomes superb. So obviously you can make it more the length of your putter by going all the way down to the grip. And then basically all the things your chipper has, so a nice wide, flat sole, lots and lots of loft, lots of mass to the club head, you can stand there and just hit those beautiful little chip shots all day long. And I just think the confidence that would give you, being able to see so much loft on the club head, you can get into there, and even if you don't make a great strike, the ball's still going to get on that green and get running out. And I just think it's such a big advantage that if you've got a club in your bag that, like I said at the start, you may have never ever considered putting it in the bag. And I think a lot of golfers wouldn't consider, or hopefully after they would, but wouldn't have considered put a 7 hybrid in the bag because of the stigma involved, where people kind of go, it's an old man's club, it's this, it's this, it's this. Forget that. You know, whatever helps you play better, Get that in your golf bag, and if it's something that you need to stand there and be able to hit nice, high, soft landing shots, but you can see high, soft landing, and golf becomes so much easier when you know you can land the ball on the green and stop it. Right, so like I said, I think a 7 hybrid, doesn't matter what model it is or what manufacturer, I think this should be the biggest selling club for 2021, because I honestly think there's so many golfers would massively benefit from this being in their bag. Now, ultimately, whether it becomes even a semi-popular club for this year is down to you guys. You know, if when you go along for a fitting, trying some new clubs, if they've got a 7 hybrid there, just ask if you can try it, because I think even for me, I was amazed when I first tested this how high, how soft it was landing, how easy to hit it was. And it's even made me consider maybe, depending on where I was playing, having that in my bag. But I can't really fit at the moment where it would need to go in, because I do hit my irons quite high, so I don't necessarily struggle with that. But it'll definitely be coming out on the course with me to experiment with and see how it works. But like I said, if you get the opportunity, give it a try. Let me know when you have tried it, or let me know if you have tried it. It'd be lovely to get some feedback from you guys. So, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it as ever. Comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you enjoyed the video and you don't currently subscribe, I'd love you to hit the button below. Remember to ring the notification bell, then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.